Welcome to the Tone Jerks podcast. I'm your host, Brian Gower, and with me today is...
Kyle McIntyre.
And back in the studio is our good buddy. You know him, but I'm going to introduce him. We have Mr. Johnny Rey, Mr. Johnny Two Guns in the house. Say hey to the beautiful people.
Hey, beautiful people.
Okay, let's jump into the episode. Kyle, what's new in your world?
I don't have anything.
You know, I really don't have anything either, so let's go into it. Johnny, what's new with you?
Okay, so I've been at Earthling Studios out in El Cajon, like about once a month, maybe even 1.5 times a month if you do the average of them, with buddy Tim Powers.
Cool.
And we've been in some bands together, the Roman Spring and It's a Trap, years ago. But we did some sort of 80s pop kind of vibe stuff, and now we've switched gears, and we've put a little bit, he actually has put a little bit of a band together, a studio project band, and we're calling it Modern Love. You know, there's like 10,000 bands out there probably called Modern Love, but 9,999 of them probably suck.
There you go. Fuck them all, bro.
And I'm not going to tell you whether we're the one or the larger group. Anyway, but it's like noisy, kind of post-hardcore. It's definitely noisy. It's a lot of fun. I'm playing bass, and Tim and I have a good relationship, so he kind of hands me a little bit of producer kind of reins here and there, and we had the 80s kind of vibe songs. Rigby Figure was that project.
Yeah.
We had that and the Modern Love tracks play, I guess regular, like once a week on that 94.9 show.
Yeah.
With Timothy Joseph.
Yeah.
In fact, I actually heard both of the singles that we've sort of released in the same segment last weekend or the weekend prior.
There you go. Yeah.
Bookended the segment. I went, oh, that's pretty cool, because it was a song I did, a bunch of people I know, then a song I did. I went, hey, that's kind of that,
it's not bad being on the radio, getting your songs played.
Yeah, it's happened, but I'm not.
So. You sent us a couple of those tracks. I don't know if they're public yet, but you sent us some of the demo tracks and some of the on Dropbox and stuff like that. It's good. It's definitely like, I called it sludgy rock and roll. You guys are just like going for it. I love it because it's just like heavy guitars. Your bass is just like driving. You're like, to us, like always known you as like kind of like I don't know, kind of like a more finesse kind of finger type player, but you're doing more of like a pick kind of thing with this band. You're like just driving, like, let's just go for it.
You're letting me down.
Got one speed. I know. Speed, go, baby.
I have, I know.
I've always aspired to be like you, and now you're trying to be like me.
Yeah, my fingering days, right?
You're taking Kyle's reign, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to show you how much you suck.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
Well, so I kind of feel like I'm really, really, really good at fingering.
Yeah.
So I decided to start using a pick. But anyway, I'm not so good with a pick, actually. I'm kind of clunky, but there's a challenge there, and I like it. And so all of the stuff that you guys have heard, oh, no, that's not true. One of the things that I sent you that isn't finished, that we're probably going to work on tomorrow night, I actually did some two-hand tapping.
Oh, that's tight.
Through most of the song.
Nice.
Until it went to like a kind of a bluesy kind of vibe at the end.
You're just trying to make me look bad now.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have a pick in my hand at the end of the song for the bluesy part, so that one was fingered.
There you go.
But I feel, with the...
He's a man of many talents.
Are you going to do that on stage every time?
Probably.
Continuity. Okay,
we want to make it. Yeah, the idea is to make it an actual live band too. So we're working on it. This dude Eric Lucero, he works at that Pitbull audio place.
Yeah.
Down in National City. He's come in with his gear, and all the noisy stuff on the tracks is him just messing around. And that Tim brought him in. He's almost like a scout. He goes out and he pulls these guys in. And,
for his projects.
So the gear that this guy's using, rad. He has an electrical guitar company guitar. The aluminum neck.
The aluminums. Yeah.
Yeah, and he has one of the very few made Earthquaker amps. There's like the head and the
master
cab.
volume, kind of like it's just kind of
he has that. He has one of those, and we've tracked his aluminum neck guitar, the electrical guitar company guitar, and that Earthquaker little amp setup.
This guy like Scrooge McDuck or something?
I don't know. I have no idea.
He knows the right people, I guess.
He's a nice guy, and I haven't really asked him. But he, he's come in with some pretty rad gear. He was. Well, what's funny is we didn't know each other. Tim's the connection, and the dude was starting to talk to me about pedals and stuff.
Yeah.
And we'll check this one out. And I went, yeah, I know that one. I have that.
I have.
I didn't want to do too much of that, because I didn't know the guy. He turns out to be a really cool dude, so I'm glad I didn't.
You don't want to be that guy.
Right off the gate. Let him in, right? You let him break down your walls.
No, he's a good dude, right. And I think that I talked to Tim actually while we texted him back and forth, and I said, if we're gonna make this a live band, I saw some video of a dude who built like basically a circuit bent noise pedal board, right? And I sent him the video, Tim, and said, dude, I could build this for if we're going to do this live. I have a bunch of stuff, and maybe we get Eric in and have him. I haven't even talked to Eric yet. Say, hey, see if he wants to contribute to making just a noise board. Who knows? Any one of us can sit there and play it. Maybe we make it so that it's like built, just like off on a like a separate switcher kind of thing. On one of our boards or something. Switches over to some crazy, like circuit bent baby head or something.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of that weird shit.
Yeah, so you can make like your own board.
Well, show stories like that don't involve boats or coats.
Boats or coats.
Or goats.
Or goats. I've never played a show that involved any goats whatsoever. Except for that one time when I played with Slipknot.
You played with Slipknot?
No.
Okay.
No, actually.
You had me for a second.
Funny story. When I first started playing, bass, there was this group of dudes that I knew that called me over to play with them, and I didn't know anything about tuning or drop tuning. I just knew standard, EADG.
Oh, wait.
No, I was playing 4-string. I've always ever played. So EADG, screw guitars, those extra 2 strings, no thanks.
I always one.
So, yeah, right? That's like, what's his name from NoFX? Fat Mike. He really only needs the 1 or 2 strings. So they brought me over, and they were trying to get me to play Slipknot songs. And they said, you have to drop your tuning. I said, what? I don't know. Can you do that for me?
Like,
and they dropped it, and I'm trying to play, and I'm going, does this even
pickup? Like, feels like a rubber band.
Sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, let's just take the string off, and I'll just hit it against the wall.
Yeah.
Put a mic up to it and see if it's. Nothing against Slipknot, but I just had no idea what I was doing at the time. So there you go. There were goats involved with me playing at some point. Ipso facto with the thingy of the.
Yeah.
Yeah. The goat on the cover of that Slipknot record.
That one time.
Mm-hmm. That was like band camp. My first 2 or 3 years of playing were kind of like that. I had no idea what the hell I was doing. And I would have dudes call me to come do stuff, and I'd show up and I'd have to have them help me figure stuff out. And I did this about a year into playing. I played this. Does UCSD have frats? I don't know. Maybe they do. I think I played.
They probably do.
I played like a house party or something for some UCSD kids. I was 19, so I was their age. With a buddy of mine that went to high school, he was up there. We played a show in a living room in Mira Mesa, and I had to learn a whole bunch of songs I'd never heard before, because I was really naive at the time when I first started playing. I'd never heard a lot of stuff. But we played things like, my favorite song we played in that set was Ain't No Fun, the Snoop song.
Yeah.
The Ain't No Fun if the homies can't have none.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did, speaking of drop tuning, I had to drop to a B on my E string.
Oh, but Jesus. Man, dude, was that like just fart, just like a rubber bandy? Like you're just like...
Dude, that was the highlight of the night, playing that song. And all these dumb kids my age were all, yeah! They remembered that song from middle school.
Everybody's just like blazing,
6th grade or
crazy,
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was silly. I was still a kid at that time. So that was a cool show. It's on a tape somewhere. One of those weird little like 3-inch camcorder tapes.
Yeah.
Somewhere in a box
Was
in
it
the attic. Probably.
DVI? What do they call those?
I don't know, man. It was my mom's.
Mini DV. That's what they call them. Mini DVs.
Yeah, my mom's camcorder.
It's in the archive.
We broke her tripod, and she was real mad. And I'm like, "Sorry, Mom."
Oh, I'm sorry. We were getting lit. That wasn't even a thing back then.
Lit AF, Mom. I'm sorry.
Yeah, these two dudes came up and rapped over top of it. They freestyled after we did the actual song, and I continued to play. Okay, I'll just keep playing because it'll be like a live track.
Yeah.
Me and the drums with some DJ. Oh, and we had like a Zach De La Rocha looking dude playing guitar. He was like a cross between Zach De La Rocha from Rage and Jesus. And he was playing guitar. I couldn't tell you his name, Marshall or something like that. He was playing guitar. And
I think I know a Marshall who looks like that, actually, now that you say that.
Well, dude, he was super into Rage. He was trying to get us to cover Rage songs. And I don't know any of this stuff. I was so naive. I knew nothing. I was just there to play because I enjoyed playing. But we played, let's see, here, let me think of the set list. Lit. Do you remember that band Lit?
Yeah.
You guys would have been like 4 years old at the time. But they had that... my car is in the front yard.
My own worst enemy. Yeah.
Yes, but it was the other one. You Make Me Come.
Oh, God.
You make me come.
Didn't that have like Pamela Anderson in the music video or something?
I don't know.
Or some
I never
other
saw that
person?
I'm
Yes.
still kind of sheltered. I get even.
Don't lie.
Like a tunnel.
You ain't innocent anymore.
I'm not innocent, but still, I've never seen.
You just like
I've never seen a music video like
innocent.
that.
You're trying not to pay attention to bullshit that is
Well,
not
I can tell
apparent to you.
when I was growing up, I didn't have MTV, so I never watched any of those music videos. I wasn't plugged into any of that stuff. I had no idea. And when I was a teenager, I was either listening to hardcore stuff or that total surf punk, Fat Records and Epitaph kind of stuff. So I didn't know. We played. Let's see. We did Lit. We did a Chili Peppers song, Soul to Squeeze.
Jesus. These B-sides you guys only knew how to play?
That's only on a soundtrack. That's on the Conehead soundtrack. Only. It's not on one of their records.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Deep cuts. That's what we're doing.
Deep cuts. What I can't remember what other songs were on that set list. Probably Sublime,
Of course.
Yeah,
there you go. You gotta do that.
something to that effect. Centuria.
That's like college crowd. You got to do that.
Yeah. It was a fun little party. I still was, but I was not. I didn't go to that school.
There's some Soundgarden in there too.
No. Oh, here's the best song I remember. We played Creed, which not the main one, the other
Arms
one.
Wide Open or Higher. Or...
Higher. Yeah, we played that one.
Take me higher.
Yeah, where there's Golden Streets and all that business. Yeah, so I have played a Creed song.
There you go.
You guys should turn my mic off now.
Get out.
Cut that out.
Yeah, edit. No, that should be just every time. You should just use it as like a blooper reel. You know how they do on those morning shows where they you go anytime something's stupid. I played a Creed song once. That's it. I don't have anything else to say about that. I feel like Forrest Gump on a bench, though. That's all I have to say about that.
That's all I have to say about that. So you did bring by, a little something. So you brought by, what, Epiphone? Rock bass? What did you bring by?
Epiphone rock bass. It's like a ripoff of a jazz bass. It's a string through body with
but it's
brass.
not offset, though.
What?
It's not like offset like a jazz
I don't know what that
body,
means.
where it like comes out one side. It's like symmetrical.
Oh, well, they probably couldn't do that because Fender has a patent on that, right?
Yeah. But everything
Okay.
else looks just like it, just so you know.
Yeah, that's probably how they got around it. I don't know. I didn't even know what offset was. You just enlightened me,
You
sir.
learned something new.
Every
I just learned that like
day.
4 weeks ago. So.
Oh, okay. But it's got the same volume. It looks like volume, tone,
This is
or volume, tone.
The
volume,
saddle on this
tone.
thing is just
This is-
badass.
this
Not
kind of
literally.
kind of
No.
was brought up. It's one of your sleepers, right? This is like a sleeper bass that you're like,
Yeah.
it's cheap. You thought it was bullshit, but it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I only bought it a few years ago, around maybe Christmas time. I walked into Guitar Center. Gasp, Guitar Center. And it was on the shelf used for $80 or something.
Yeah.
And so, and I had to do the weight, the the pawn shop
SDPD weight.
Yeah, I had, and it was close to 30 days. So, I was like, oh, hey, I'm getting a jump on this little gem here. I played it. I plugged it in the store, and it sounded amazing. So, I mean, well, as amazing as, it could.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. So I bought it, and when I picked it up, a month later or whatever, I threatened the sales guy that I was going to take it outside and throw it as high as I could into the air and see if I caught it. Because who cares? It's $80. It's an Epiphone rock bass. Fuck it.
Yeah.
He was so upset. He was so upset that I was going to throw it into the air to see if I could catch it.
Think of the kids. The kids could use that bass.
So what? Well, yeah, that is right.
Whatever.
But if I genuinely felt bad, I'd just buy another one, like a starter bass pack and give it to a kid.
Yeah.
But it turns out it's pretty nice. It's got these brass saddles on the bridge, a string through body. It's got this
painted headstock.
Yeah, it's a kind of a jizz white color.
Also known as cream white.
Just lost some listeners.
It's okay. My mom wasn't really listening anyways.
Well, my mom definitely is not listening. She doesn't care.
Like,
it's also the headstock has that angle like Gibson.
Yeah.
Not but so like drastic, but
it has like the 80s hair metal Washburn.
Yeah, it's not so angular though. Yeah.
It still looks like a dagger. It's still, if I was playing this live and somebody got rowdy in front of me or tried to get on the stage, I could gore them with this thing.
You could stab them.
At least, hit them in just the right way that their organ had temporary failure and they'd fall off the stage.
And die. Pretty.
No, temporary. It would be like a reset. Just hit the reset button on their liver or something.
Yeah.
A little jolt. Ooh!
Is that possible? I don't think it's possible.
It is now.
You've been watching too much Grey's Anatomy.
I'm going to find out.
Hey, yeah, exactly. Hey, if you can think it, it is possible.
Yeah, if you can dream it. No, I think it's really cool. And $80, I'm like, you're saying, like, what you're saying before, like, if you try to throw that up in the air, that might, like, put you in traction. You're trying to catch that.
Probably
that's
a
good, solid.
It'd be like
bass.
the bassist from Nirvana gets hit with it in the head.
Chris Novoselic
It just knocks you out.
This thing is heavy.
What did he throw? He threw a grabber, though, right? Wasn't he playing
I don't know
a Gibson?
If it was a grabber.
Yeah.
Maybe he was Fender at that point.
Yeah, I think it was probably a P bass or something.
Yeah, probably. You could pull up it on your phone. You sure could.
Yeah. I'll do it right now. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Listeners, go look it up.
Yeah.
You need
Let
to
us
have
know in the comments section.
Now have the dial-up modem sound play over the podcast. And then
make it like a real like morning talk show.
And speaking of gear, I actually have a pedal by Montreal Assembly called the Wrong Side of Uranus or Uranus.
Yeah.
As we would call it here.
Yeah.
That has a fax machine or dial-up modem sound.
No way.
As one of the settings.
No way, really?
Yeah. And I think that's the one setting that I loved the most, and I pulled it back out of storage recently, and it's the one setting that doesn't function like it should anymore. Oh. But it's a cool, I don't know if the Montreal Assembly, Montreal Assembly, the current pedal that they have out on the market is the Count to 5.
Yeah.
Have you seen that one?
Yeah, definitely.
I haven't.
Oh, well, it's a weird glitchy delay thing.
Yeah, it's like kind of like a looper delay weird.
Yeah, I don't really know. I didn't look too much into it.
It's a weird pedal.
Dude has been out for over a decade probably, because that's probably when I bought that one. And he had some really crazy designs way back, and I was able to get one of those wrong side of Uranus. But if you find it, he's got the white fritter and a bunch of glitchy, weird, like ring moddy kind of, just cool stuff. They're hard to find. People don't sell them these days. But speaking of selling, I might sell that Wrong Side of Uranus pedal. Maybe. Only because it's kind of funny on that fax machine setting or dial-up modem.
I haven't heard much of him besides the Count to 5. I know he has like a couple versions of the Count to 5,
mm-hmm.
and I didn't know he put a lot of anything else out.
Yeah, he's you can still find the Pazing, which is like a 1 or 2 knob ring mod, I think. And there's the Your, talking about how people don't know how to type anymore.
Yeah.
It's got the YOUR and YOU''RE. That's like an overdrive, I think.
Yeah.
I haven't explored them. Just that one Montreal assembly pedal that I have. But he had some great ones like 10, 12 years ago.
Dang.
I think that just needs like a resoldered connection or something. Or
I don't know. It's
gone.
It's very digital. Yeah. One of the reasons why I never really used it live is that when you would take the power out, it would basically reset.
Okay.
And so it has 8 programs in it. And I don't know if that's a glitch, and maybe I could get him to put new firmware in it, update it or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it had like 8 settings, and within those settings, there's 8 more of more or less of the signal mixed in.
Yeah.
And that also affects volume. So you find your setting and your volume and you get it dialed in, and it's so great. But then you unplug your board and you go to plug it back in, and you're back to 1-1.
Okay, that's kind of
like when you're playing Mario Brothers, and you
you
go
back
to
to
1-1. So you got to find it again. So I never really used it, but it'd be great for studio use. But yeah, you go back to 1-1 and it's loud and it cuts your head off.
Jeez, it's kind of cool, but also kind of weird. You could probably. I wonder if you could probably send it back to the guy.
He built those things like I said, 100,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Or 10 years ago. But that's what it feels like in the realm of pedals and electronics. 10 years ago feels like it's Stone Age.
Yeah.
So, meh.
So, like, back onto gear. When you, the last episode that we did, I was like, oh, hey, Johnny, can you send me a couple of pictures of the, gear that we talked about, just to, like, have it on the Imgur and Instagram and stuff like that. You sent me, like, a bunch of stuff that we never even talked about. So what you sent me like a PV like full stack that you had, and you had like a couple other 70s basses and shit like that you had, and pedals. Like you had like a full spread of pedals. Do you have anything new? Do you have anything new to talk about?
No, I have not bought any new gear since then. And that picture came from the garage that I kept dealing with floods in.
Oh,
which sucked, but I didn't lose any gear.
Okay, good.
No, I lost no gear, but like 6 floods in 6 months. It was awful.
Jesus Christ.
After the first one, I put everything up on pallets and up off the floor. Which, if anybody's listening and you have your stuff in a garage, put your stuff up on pallets off the floor, please. Don't be an idiot. Because if you have a water heater in the garage, or you have a deep sink or anything, even a roof leak, you get a flood going through there, your shit's ruined. So pick it up off the floor. Also, if you're a bass player, that helps with your sound too, because you raise it up a little bit, you raise your speakers up, and you get more air pushing through. And anyway, it's kind of a woofier kind of sound.
So, like, don't say you never learn anything from the Tone Jerks.
This,
you learn something.
that's right.
Announcement brought to you by
pick your shit up off the
Johnny
fucking
Two
floor.
Guns. He's telling you.
Yeah, I never lost anything from being on
Good.
the floor, but there's always a potential. So. And that stuff is expensive, and you may or may not have insurance for it. Anyway, but those pictures I sent were probably, I think there was laid on their sides a late 60s Sun 610 cab.
Yeah, that's legit.
And it's a 610L, so it was a guitar cabinet, but with bass run through it, it's like got that kind of stoner sludge, doomy metal sound, which is great. And then laid over on its side on top of that was a 70s acoustic 215. I don't like that one, so if somebody wants to buy it from me, I'll sell it to them. And then on top of that,
hit 'em up.
was
Good price.
on top of that was a PV Mark IV head. Dude, the early PV stuff like that is so good. If you can find a festival series, the bass one, those are fantastic. That's what the dude from Death from Above uses, is the PV Festival series. And it's tube. I'm pretty sure it's tube. But I have the Mark IV, which is just as good, but it's solid state.
I think his is solid state too, but he uses it for like kind of his like top end, because he's like top end just like is solid and cuts through kind of his thing. Because he runs like through like a 2 or 3 amp rig, I think.
Something dual. I think he's got 2.
Yeah.
And he doesn't use distortion or anything necessarily. He's just got his amps really
crank
just pushed, and that is the death from above sound. And there was an acoustic 370 head there too. So I was running into both the 370 and the PV Mark IV, and then running those out to the 215 acoustic and the 610 Sun.
God damn.
Yeah, I did all the math before I did it to make sure I didn't blow shit up.
Did you have to replace the windows on your place or what?
The 215 didn't really like what I was throwing at it, which is why I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
But the 610, that sounds like a dream. I'm gonna try and bring it into the studio for some of these sessions with Modern Love, because I think we could get a really good sound.
What'd you use for Modern Love? It sounds like a different rig than the 80s kind of Rigby figure stuff.
Well, that Rigby figure, I think I was running a late 60s Bassman head through the same 410 cab that I'm using now. It's like a Heart Key or a Galen Kruger.
Yeah, it was a GK.
Whatever Mike Camus has at Earthling right now.
Yeah.
I don't really like carrying around a big old bass cab. So
if they got one.
Yeah, I just bring a head.
You can make it work.
Yeah, his Bassman, that I used at the time, belonged to somebody else, and the one he's got there, I think there's something going on with it, so we weren't using it. I bring the PV Mark IV. I put that on top of that Heart Key or GK 410. I run a 76P into, and here's kind of the secret weapon now that I've discovered. It's a Tronographic Rusty Box.
The fuck?
Yeah, right? Dude, I think maybe he's out of New York. It's based on the bass player from Shellac.
Okay.
It's based on his rig, which was a Trainer bass amp. They're a Canadian company. It's very mid and treble heavy, but it's a preamp or a DI box, whatever you want to use it for. I'm running into that, and I'm also playing with a pick, so I'm getting it to the point where it's breaking up only because I'm using a pick. If I play with my fingers, it doesn't break up. But using a pick, running that into the PV Mark IV, into that Heart Key cab. And I think the last time we did it, well, the track that plays out there right now, that we actually put out, is a mix. You've got direct and the mic.
Sweet.
But we are just doing mic on the recent ones. But yeah, it sounds pretty good. I'm really impressed. And Earthling, Mike is super experienced. He's had that place since the late 90s. And
so he's kind of got dialed in.
Yeah, he's good. He's super good. He plays in a band called The Loons. And
okay, I know them. Yeah,
he plays drums, and he's real good. He's produced produced or engineered all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, from the tracks that you've sent and from what I've heard, it sounds fucking legit. It sounds good.
It's good stuff, and we got like I said, that guy Eric doing the noisy guitar work. We got Tim Powers. I could name off a dozen bands he's been in over the years. He wrote the songs that we're playing, basic, basic composition.
Yeah,
and he brought in all these other people to fill in the meat to the bones.
Yeah.
Mike Camus, the engineer, owner of Earthling, is doing drums, and Mike Messina. He's been in a bunch of hardcore bands I'm pretty sure, like Chula Vista 90s, legacy type hardcore bands, and he's doing the vocals. So it's been great. Yeah, good stuff.
Let's talk about a topic. Let's cover we want to do dream pedals, or would you want to do?
Or how about I'll do Johnny's topic. Johnny texted us,
like a year ago.
Yeah, a year ago.
Lazy.
about this topic.
Ignoring me.
Yeah. So he brought this topic up, and Kyle and I have thought about it for a little bit.
Wait, I'm going to interject.
Go for it.
The Olympics happened, and so I was thinking about Olympics, and when I was a little kid, there was the Dream Team, the basketball Dream Team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley and Scottie Pippen, and it was like all the pros from here in the United States, and they just mopped the floor with the whole world.
Yeah.
The closest game maybe was like 80 points. But anyway, so there you go. That's what I was thinking, the dream team
I was to further derail it. I was really excited for this Olympics because I thought it was going to be the Japan Olympics, but those are going to be the Summer Olympics in 2020.
No, it was in Korea. That's a different country, you racist.
Okay, because I was super excited.
It's across the pond over there.
Hold on. The reason why I was super excited and blinded was because Japan, like from what I heard back in 2016, they were going to do their opening ceremonies was going to be a Japanese like Miku type thing.
Oh man!
And I was like,
Miku Stomp, his favorite pedal.
No, the band was going to be
that's a reference
from
to my podcast.
The Love Live was the band. People don't know who it is.
No,
I think the band is like a 9 person band of like doing a thing, and they're like, oh, they're talking about doing this, and like part of the Japan's like government is like, that's too reckless. People are gonna think we're fucking stupid. I'm like, just fucking do it. Like it's 4 minutes. So I was like super excited to tune in. I'm like, their opening ceremonies. Japan is 2020.
2020, where?
Summer Olympics, Japan.
I know, but what city?
Japan, Brian?
That's a whole country.
I don't know. All I know is Japan and anime.
He thinks that Korea is Japan, and he can't figure out the city. He thinks that Japan is just a city.
In China.
I think we need to take a piss break and teach Brian about Asia.
All right.
Let's take a
piss
break
in 30 minutes.
Back into it.
I'm gonna grab my hammer.
Just like a piss break for 40 minutes of just like pissing and beating my ass at the same time. Let's go. Take a break.
G'day, mate.
Oh, g'day, mate. We're Aussies.
Yeah. Down in Brisbane.
Brisbane and Perth.
Yeah. It's
Melbourne?
right on the water, if you know what that is.
Hey, the Crocs down there in Melbourne.
Okay.
Or you could be British. Hey, it's okay for us to talk shit about pale-skinned people because we are the same.
Also.
Well, you're not.
I'm not, but I'm hanging out with you guys.
Half, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you get a pass on whatever the fuck you want to do. I come from a very
diplomatic immunity over here.
I come from a very multicultural family, so I just let them say the shit that I want to say.
You submit it in a newsletter before the family meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, so after my whole apparently racist thing about Japan and anime and everything like that, let's segue crappily back into some topics that we had planned.
Let's call it xenophobic, not racist.
Okay, I don't know what that means, but yeah, I love Xena. She's a great warrior princess.
Oh, I thought you said zine like magazines.
Oh, yeah. Xenophobic.
So back into it. Back into the Dream All-Star Band.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get into it. Who are your players and what's the genre? Do you want to go first, Johnny, or I got one?
Well, if you have one,
you should start.
I have one ready for you.
So
my Dream All-Star Band is going to be a punk band, and I have some punk rock players. So I have on drums is going to be Trey Cool from Green Day. He's fucking super solid. He's got the chops. So
I have some friends who have stories about that guy from when he first joined the band, by the way.
Holy
Later,
moly.
I'll tell you guys.
All right. For guitar and probably main vocals is going to be Chris Cresswell from the Flatliners.
Don't know who that is.
Oh my God! Well, you're doing yourself a disfavor
by
not listening to
him
him.
up.
And then from guitar and vocals, probably backups and mains. Switching is Dave Haas from The Loved Ones and his own solo project.
Don't know that guy.
Oh my God! And then for bass, guitar is going to be Matt Freeman.
Me?
Oh yeah, from Johnny Rey.
Okay, cool.
Or also Matt
Freeman. You can
Freeman.
play backup bass in this band.
Yeah. Okay.
But lead bass.
Hey, I don't mind backup bass. If I'm getting paid to stand on side stage with my bass, okay, cool.
Yeah, there you go.
Like Sid Vicious is all up in the.
Anyway, so who is it?
Matt Freeman from Rancid.
Oh, okay, that's okay.
And
That's acceptable.
There you go.
As long as I'm his backup.
And for lead guitar, I was gonna do for some metally weedly deedlies, Dave Brown sound from Sum 41.
Oh, that's strange.
That's gonna be.
Yeah, I got a story about that. So,
give it to me.
So Sum 41 and Blink 182 were supposed to play at the Coors Amphitheater, like right after 9/11. Oh, and
sure.
the show got canceled because they're Canadian.
Yeah.
It came. I think they did end up playing, actually. My brother and I saw that show. I got hit in the dry-ass fucking eyeball by a ping pong ball. Oh. I still have that stupid thing. In like 2000, I don't know, 2000, was that 2003? 2004. It was the beginning of 2004 because it took a few months for them to be able to get back into It's now called like Sleep Mattress Train something amphitheater. It was Coors at the time. I got hit in the eyeball by a fucking ping pong ball during Blink's set. Fucking assholes.
Why were there ping pong balls?
Because they shot them out. They thought they were fun.
Yeah.
Fucking jerks. They're like, we're in our hometown. We're going to shoot ping pong ball. It hit me in the dry ass eyeball. It hurt.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
So the reason I chose that is like every one of those people, Trey Cool, super solid. Chris Cresswell from Flatliners, amazing singer, songwriter, holds it down on rhythm guitar, great singer. Dave Hawes, also a great singer, rhythm guitar player, whatever. Bass player, Matt Freeman, he's all over the place. He can hold it down when he needs to. He can do some of the, the more raga kind of stuff. I'm trying
to picture like what that band would sound like too.
Fucking sick.
Well, it's really not a picture, it's more of a sound.
And then Dave Brownstown is just like he's like
little synesthesia
he's your,
there.
he's your he's your metal 80s rock guy. Just like he can do like the quick like thrashy like punk kind of stuff, but he can also do like the thrash metal kind of shreddy kind of wheedly deedlies all over the place. So to me, I think that would be like a recipe for good times, recipe for disaster, maybe.
But,
whoa.
What about you, Johnny?
I don't know. I had a side note for you on there, but I think it has already fizzled.
It's already passed.
There was a side note. Who's your guys?
It was the Trey Cool. You had one. You had a story.
Oh well, yeah. Okay, so I Tim Powers that I'm doing the session work with, him and a buddy Joe Gastelum. Joe was in some 90s hardcore bands, and they were on tour, and Green Day wasn't super big yet, and they had just replaced their drummer, and it became Trey Cool. He was the new drummer. And my buddy Joe kept calling him by the old drummer's name on accident, and Trey Cool was getting so upset by it. He was like, "No, that's not
me, man."
Yeah, and Joe didn't feel that bad. He's like, "Whatever, fucking dude."
It's just some fucking
really?
kid. I don't give a shit.
It's like whatever, early 20s in the early 90s or whatever. He's old.
Yeah,
Joe's old. I hope he listens to this old man. I saw him on Friday night. That's why I'm giving him a hard time.
You'd be like, he probably doesn't even know what a podcast is.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't know how to do that stuff.
Throwing some shade.
I love that dude. No, there was another side note in there. Who's your dudes again?
It was Flatliners. Loved Ones. Rancid.
Yeah, I know.
Sum 41. And Green Day.
I don't remember. I had a really funny side note.
God,
but whatever.
Damn,
what's your dream band then?
Well then,
okay, this has got to be off the cuff because I told you guys, hey, let's do another podcast. Or I asked you. I didn't tell you because
we don't listen to no man.
Well, I am your elder, so you should respect me.
Honestly, we just respect you because you're Johnny.
You were
Two
teenagers
Guns,
watching me play.
Yeah.
Anyway, so but it was a request. Can we do another podcast? Because I was digging it. And I said a topic we could do is a dream band, but I totally forgot. So off the cuff, 100%, absolutely, without a doubt, Bowie has to be in the band.
Okay.
I don't give a shit what he plays. He can play keys. He can play guitar. He can be the lead singer. He can play saxophone. I don't care. David Bowie has to be in the band because he is number one in my book.
Yeah.
Above all else.
See, I told you, Brian.
What?
He knew you were a Bowie guy.
Yeah,
I left him out of mine.
I've been because I was already gonna take him.
I had this inkling.
Wait, okay, is that how it works? I can't take any of what Brian.
No. I just didn't want to step on any toes.
I don't want any of Brian's guys.
Throwing some shade at me. Goddamn.
Yeah. So Bowie, 100%. He can play whatever he wants in the band. He gets to choose. Beyond that. So we talked about this earlier before we started recording how, live or dead, obviously he's passed on, so we use him. But, could we use like super old dudes like Beethoven or Mozart or something?
Yeah.
Okay, so Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure came out when I was 6 or 7 years old.
So you want Keanu Reeves?
I just want Dog Star. Only Dogstar, the whole band of Dogstar.
That's it.
Done. Podcast over. Hit stop. We're done.
Drop the mic. Don't drop it.
No,
Please don't
I
drop
won't. I'll just drop the sinusoid cables to see if they're really as good as you say.
Yeah, even if they aren't, they're gonna replace them.
So realistically, here, let's go back. Let's get back to reality or surreality because I already picked Bowie, who has passed on, unfortunately.
Sad face emoji.
Yeah. So we got to have Bowie. Whatever the fuck he wants to do in the band, he may do. And
But the only stipulation, he has to be in the band.
he's got to be in the band. Yeah. So I have a question. Are we a live band or are we a studio band?
Either or. You pick it.
Okay, I
You
choose
pick
live band. James Brown.
Oh shit!
Frontman.
There you go. Yeah.
James Brown's a frontman. You know what? He's a tyrant, but if he goes up against somebody like David Bowie, he's not going to be able to be so tyrannical. And maybe there's some epic fights that happen because
Might
of
be
that.
a good dynamic.
Anyway, James Brown, frontman. Okay, so David Bowie, you're out. You can't sing lead. Sorry.
He can do background. I mean,
Of course, he's good at
He's
it. He
going
did
to.
all the Iggy Pops, like the
man.
big Iggy Pop stuff in the 70s. He wrote All the Young Dudes from Mott the Hoople, which is one of the biggest rock and roll epic songs, anthemic things ever. So he's good, right? So Bowie's in, James Brown, frontman. Do we have a limit of how many?
I don't know. Whatever.
We
how
could
much
have,
time we got?
Yeah, I know. Could we could have
I
like
don't know. Keep it to like 5 or 6. Whatever.
Okay, five or six. Shit. Okay, so we talked about Bill and Ted's. They had Beethoven just go crazy on like Bon Jovi's When Wet. They talked about he loves Bon Jovi's When Wet. Keanu Reeves plays the same character in every movie, by the way. It's always Bill. Ted. Theodore Logan.
Yeah.
Every time. So, okay, Beethoven. He's in the band. He's on keys.
He's on synth. Yeah. There you go.
He shuts his mouth because we don't speak whatever he speaks.
But
Probably
he is deaf,
German,
right? Or just before he went deaf?
Either way, fuck it.
Either
Just
way,
let him
he's
go.
badass, right?
What about a drummer? I want to know your drummer situation.
Okay, who
'Cause
would
you're
I
a bass
pick?
player. You lock in. Well,
I
who's a
know,
good drummer?
I know. Oh, I'm in the band.
You could do whatever you want.
Well, dude, if I'm gonna build a dream band, I got to be in the band.
There you go. So you're
and
bass.
I'm really only good at bass.
So you're bass.
So I'm playing bass.
Who are
and
you locking in with? Who's your drummer?
Drums. Oh man. Okay, so we're still off the cuff. And living
You
or
going
living
Are you
or
going-
dead, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think most of the drummers that I'd be interested in are living. Yeah, I don't know, man, because I wouldn't want to Neil Peart or Peart, whatever you want to call him. I don't think I would be into that. Ringo. We're going Ringo.
Because he's going to follow you.
Because Ringo is, first of all, he's lefty and he's playing righty.
Yeah.
So that's like me.
That's you, yeah.
I'm a lefty who's playing righty. So we have that going on. Plus, if you've ever seen the dude, he just loves what he does.
Yeah.
I'm going to look back at this
He
dude.
loves it sucking.
He's stoked to be there.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I'm going to look back at this dude and he's going to be so inspiring because he's also going to look out and see, because at this point in 2018, he knows Bowie is a big deal. Obviously, he knows Beethoven is a good deal. I'm not going to call him Beethoven. I'm going to call him Beethoven. And he knows James Brown is a big ass deal. Although I'm intimidated because James Brown is going to dock my pay every time I fuck up. And I fuck up a lot on stage. You guys don't know, but I fuck up all the time.
Hey, but
It's not about the money,
roll
baby.
it off.
It's
You
not
roll-
about the money. This is a dream job. We're going for the gold medal, beating Slovakia like 5,000 to 1.
So let's just say like
What else do we have? What other?
let's say Bowie's on
keys.
guitar. Who's the second
No,
guitar?
Bowie's
for?
playing saxophone.
Okay, he's
and
doing
singing-
sax.
Yeah, Bowie's doing saxophone.
Who's
because-
your guitarist then?
Oh, who's my guitarist?
Let's round it out.
Yeah.
Brian Wilson.
No.
That'd be tight.
Brian Wilson is there to make noise and effects, okay? He has the goats. He's got the goats and the theremin. Brian Wilson is on goat sounds and theremin.
Okay, so he's
still in it.
He's the sixth.
He's in it.
Oh, he's in-
No,
who-
but
who-
I need a guitar player.
Who's your guitar player?
Who is my guitar player?
Slash.
Let's no, he's lame.
He's tight.
No,
Okay.
I mean he's cool, but not for this project. He's not at that level. I'm
can't-
not at that level.
Chuck
so why
Berry
the fuck
then
am I
or
in there?
But it's your band,
no, not. I mean, Chuck Berry's pretty rad. He'd be awesome, but he's another one of those tyrannical type guys. We got too many personalities going on already. Me and Ringo are going to be back there going.
You like Brian May or something?
Gilmore.
Brian May. Well, Brian May might be cool. I was thinking somebody like a Wes Montgomery. Get some weird jazz shit going on.
Okay, yeah, that guy slays.
Or a Django Reinhardt. But I don't think they could play some of the stuff that we'd be playing, because they're so, like Wes Montgomery's going to be playing the jazz.
Able to fill these stadiums.
Django Reinhardt's going to be playing like the gypsy jazz with, like half his hand or whatever. He's missing fingers. All right, give me just a second. Guitar. Yeah, throw some dudes out.
Steve Vai?
No.
Pete Thorne?
No.
Okay, fuck. Pete Thorne.
Not that I'm talking shit about any of these guys, but we got to be
Sorry, we don't see your vision. I'm sorry.
I know. We got to be, exalted. Exalted
Petrucci?
Company. John Petrucci.
That guy is like.
I mean, he's good, but I think like old school. Somebody. It can't be a new school guy that
you have like Johnny Cash in there or whatever.
Yeah, Johnny Cash can be on stage. Yeah, sure. Let's. I'm not holding myself to 5 or 6 guys. Let's throw Johnny Cash up there.
The wall is broken.
Yeah, fuck the wall.
Fuck that shit.
Speaking of, no Pink Floyd guys.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Although I love Pink Floyd. None of those guys are going to qualify for my band. Well, I mean, like, what's his name? Roger Waters is going to fight me for playing bass. I don't want that guy around. Plus, he's very angry. Yeah. He's very angry. Okay, guitar player. Fuck. You know what? Let's, George Harrison.
All right, that's a good one.
George Harrison on guitar.
Yeah.
On lead.
On lead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about some of the stuff he did.
Yeah.
He's brilliant. And he was the youngest one.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got James Brown, David Bowie, George Harrison, Ringo Starr. We got 2 Beatles.
Beethoven.
There you go.
We got Beethoven and me.
Johnny Rey.
Jesus Christ. I need to step out of that band.
I know. And then you got Johnny Cash.
And Johnny Cash is in there.
He's like, he comes in and out. He's not
just
full-time
hanging out.
member.
He's playing acoustic guitar.
He's like the hype man.
He's playing 6-string acoustic, and Bowie's playing 12-string acoustic.
Like he's doing the
and
acoustic
Bowie's
stuff,
in a dress.
and he's also like Johnny Cash is kind of like that ska guy who's just like dancing.
Yeah.
He's just skanking.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
He's like the hype guy. He's like the hype guy.
You know what? There are no women in the band though. How about Joan of Arc?
Bring her in. Bring her in. It's your dream
That is
band.
direct reference.
Yeah, I know. I'm just thinking. Thinking Bill and Ted's.
All right, Kyle. What is yours? What is your dream band?
Wait, hold on. Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc was played by Jane Weedlin of the Go-Go's in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
So you want
Jane
her.
Weedlin.
Yeah.
Sure. We can have Jane Weedlin, but only as Joan of Arc doing the jazzercise routine.
Background.
So that's the
and she has to sing in French.
I don't care what she sings in.
She's just got to be there.
That's
the dream band. Kyle, whip it out. What's your dream band?
All right. So I took a long time thinking of this one. So I want in my band, I want lead vocals, Sonny Sandoval. Okay.
Is that POD?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby.
He's from about where I grew up.
He's from Chula.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, he's not from Chula Vista. He's from South San Diego.
Ysidro.
92154. So he's like between the 5 and 805 off of Palm Avenue.
Yeah.
He went to Montgomery High School. Anyway.
And then also on lead vocals, I wanted Mike Shinoda, actually.
Who's that?
From Lincoln Park.
Oh, I thought so. Lincoln Park.
And then
That's weird.
And then also on lead vocals, I want
another 90s guy.
Jonathan Davis.
Yeah, Korn. I saw them open up for Metallica when their first record came out.
And then also on lead vocal, I want Kid Rock.
With the ba. Okay.
And then also on lead vocal,
Holy shit.
I want Fred Durst in there.
Oh my
you
God.
Can't go wrong with that.
This is 90s new metal.
I wanted to like switch it up, and I wanted also on lead vocal, Michael Patton. You're probably not familiar.
Mike Patton. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Oh,
Faith
yeah.
No More,
Who's
Mr.
that?
Bungle.
Yeah, Faith
Dude,
No
Mike
More.
Patton.
Oh my!
Wait. Okay, so that's Faith No More. He also did Mr. Bungle. But have you heard his stuff with John Zorn?
No, I have not.
Okay, look it up. John Zorn, Zorn. You want? I'm guaranteeing you want John Zorn era So because it's not even any words. It's just all, it's just
no, maybe
crazy.
I don't want that.
Like moon spell
because
or something.
Because the thing is I'm also invested in this band, so I'm writing all of this material that they're singing. Because I know these guys aren't creative.
They're not singing at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
These are frontmen. Sorry, should I change from lead singers to frontmen?
Okay. I'm gonna fucking bring it back.
Do you have any instruments at all?
Oh no, not at all.
It's just all frontmen.
Fucking why would you?
It's all program stuff.
That's all anyone cares about.
Are you on stage with like a big ass synth or workstation? And you just press a button and it plays a song.
Exactly.
Like you said, he's DJ push play.
Yeah.
There you go.
DJ push play Kyle.
Okay.
Yeah.
K-Mac.
K-Mac Daddy with the MacBook Pro. So we're gonna bring it.
There was no
back.
MacBook Pros in the 90s, but he could be K-Mac Daddy.
He can be K-Mac Daddy whenever he wants.
K-Mac Daddy with whatever the 90s thing was.
Just as long as he shows up with the right gear, he can call him whatever the fuck he wants.
Now, how do you have those dudes? You put them on leashes or something?
Yeah,
I mean, how do you?
It's a big stage.
I mean, okay. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna interject here. Add Maynard James Keenan from Tool. Throw him up there. Let's add
definitely guest appearance on an album somewhere.
Yeah. Throw Scott Stapp in there too from Creed.
I thought about that, but the guy I think it would disappear. Like his vocals would just like disappear. Definitely behind
not his
Davis.
vocals, his personality.
Yeah.
Because it's already kind of lacking.
Behind Durst, yeah. All right, I think we're going to end it right there. But I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in to the Tone Jerks podcast. And you can check us out online at thetonejerks.com. And also, if you feel so inclined, you can help support the show at patreon.com/thetonejerks. You can become a patron of the show for as little as $1 a month. And at $2 a month, you get an extra episode every week. But at the $1 level a month, you get a shout out. And so we have a couple new sign-up-ees. Our buddy Co Schneider and our buddy Paul Pennington from the Flippin' Flippers podcast, they pledged $1 a month, so giving them a big shout out. Make sure to check out their show, the Flippin' Flippers. They're releasing it every Tuesday, so whatever podcast you're listening to this on, make sure to tune into their show. And then also Fat Foot Effects. They've been a big supporter of the show since day one, so make sure to check them out at fatfooteffects.com. All right, I think that's about it for today. We will see you next time. We love you.
All right, see ya.